Alrighty, hello and welcome for the people who are just tuning in into the stream. We got a long one, 35 laps here at Sonoma, but right now it's qualifying time, so these drivers are lining up for qualifying. See a lot of cars trying to set their laps and things like that, so everybody over the hill getting ready, and we're just watching some qualifying now throughout the hills of Sonoma, California. Through the hills, watching Matt Frady here. At the end of practice, Chase was top of the board by quite a few tenths over Zach. So Zach going to have to be on his A game, but with the position Zach is in the points, he's just got to beat the other 9 playoff drivers to be within contention. So he's going to have to do as much as he can to get by it, but I don't think it'll be too big of an issue. Zach's always going to be quick. First lap set by Zach. He runs at 18.6, so just a little slower than his practice time, but still very fast. So Zach making looks up and happen. He's got top of the board right now. We'll see if any other road course ringer comes in here and is able to beat that. A lot of drivers struggling for grip. I noticed that a lot during my laps. Chase in here, he went top of the board by a while in practice, so he's gonna be the man to beat tonight, I believe. Looking at it, I'm just trying to set up a few camera angles and things like that, so I apologize. Fix that. But Bernard's going to go second on the board with a 20.3. Well, this is playoff race number 3 for tonight. So these guys know, and these guys know it, and they're going to be going for it the whole time. I don't think we're going to see much of relax in this race, but I think there will be a lot of racing. We're watching Chase here as he's trying to complete his lap. Down into turn number 11. Got to be careful with the wheel hops into turn 11. I think we'll see that a lot of this race. Be careful with the wheel hops and just make sure you get through the corners. One of the biggest deals here at this road course is just staying on the track. Always got to make sure you're staying on the racetrack. Now Chase setting up for his lap. Going up the hill into turn 2. Heading down into 3A and 3B. 3A is that left-hander. Right-hander 3A or 3B, I apologize. Down into turn 5. Love this corner. We'll watch them fly by you here as they go by the wall. Down into turn 6. Furthest point of the track away from the start-finish line. Now for the S's. How aggressive can you be up to third gear through here? Third gear all the way through. Take a look at it now. Far throughout the S's, you see the start-finish line across the way. But Chase opening up a big gap on Dean. 2.3 seconds. We saw him at the start of the lap just behind him. So, green sector in the first sector. Purple through the S's. Can he beat Zach? Let's see at the line. When it updates, can he do it? He will. He will by 0.4 of a second. He beat Zach. Great lap there for Chase. We'll see if he's able to line up another one and get through it. But everybody else trying to set up their laps. Trying to find someone else on the track to follow. A few cars racing. That's Adam and Matt. Adam lets Matt go, so he's able to do his lap. Matt still P3 on the board. Oh, he's sideways spinning through the grass. One thing these drivers got to be careful with. Jason Spear there. Next to get a lap in. He's going to reset now. Everybody trying to set their lap times, or it might be too late. Here's Clay. He's P9 on the board, looking just to get around the track tonight. He's pretty good and safe in the points so far. We'll have to take a look at it and see what he's able to do in the points format. If I'm able to pull up the points real quick, I'll try to show it on the stream. I'll show it pretty quickly here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the points. So you see the top 10 in points right here. It's wild. So Adam pretty much in, but a fight for the top 5 in points. It's going to be the most top 5. If it ties, it goes off of wins or regular season points, I believe. So this race and one more next week at Bristol And these drivers know it, so they're going to be on the lookout for that. But tonight in Bristol could decide it big, right for the playoff point. Right now, Clay and Mike are in. Chad in as well. But Chris, road course guy, pretty good at these road courses. Brandon, he's looking to weigh in. Zach, he missed that race, the first race of the playoff, so he's down, but not out. He's still looking for something and momentum to gain here. Let's go ahead and see where they're at now on the board. So Chase still top of the board. Chase still top. Who's out there setting their lap times right now? I believe Matt's still out there. Let's ride on board with Matt. He's taking. Let's go right on board with Chase for that fast lap. Let me take a look at it real quick. Well, I want to show the throttle control. So, sorry, Chase. I'm going to show me real quick. Even though Chase's lap was better, so I just want to show the wheel movement and things like that. So, take a look at the wheel in the bottom right, and take a look here at Sonoma for a fast lap. See, hard on the brakes, a lot of shifting there. Downshift, hard on the curb. Did mess up this point a little bit, probably lost 0.2 or so there. Down through the S's. Got to be careful with this part. Be careful with it. Very steady. Nice and easy. As the qualifying session ends, I'm going to pull up the point. So as you can see, it's pretty hard to see, but I apologize on that. But you can see the stats of the field for this season. Who are all in the playoffs. And like that. That's who's in and who's not. So these guys know it. They're going to be ready for it. Chase ends up getting the pole. Zach is P2. Bernard third. Matt fourth. So a lot went down there in that session. And a lot can still happen. So, I mean, it's going to be a wild one. We're going to watch and see who's still on their laps. We got one. That's Bully. He's still on his laps. Down into turn number 11. Deep into it, but at the bottom of the screen, you can see the point. So do the math in your head. Write them down. Get your notebook out. Write them down so you know how to update it and where everybody's going to be at. Like I said, every playoff race so far, you're racing the racetrack, racing the other drivers, but you're mostly racing the other playoff competitors. So got to be careful with that. You gain 1 point per playoff position. So if Zach ends up being the highest finishing playoff driver, he doesn't have to beat Chase, but he gets 10 points if he's ahead of the other 9 competitors. So it goes by 1. Then when we get to the round of 5, or that second round, and there's only 5 people, only 5 points to deal with. So not as much points to be gained. So anything could happen here. See Bully making his laps, trying to complete it. And that's going to end up doing it. So, starting lineup for the race. It's going to be Chase on the pole. They're going to have to chase him down. So, he's looking to be the one to beat. And it looks like so far he is. He's up a decent amount on time. I mean, Zach's one of the best road course racers I know. And Chase is almost a second ahead of him. So that's pretty impressive there by Chase getting that done. But we're ready to grid and on the grid for the race. And everybody graded here. Alrighty, we got a long ways to go before we get back to the start-finish line. So I can do a rundown of the field where everybody started. On the pole, it's going to be Chase Cabry, one of the best at these road courses in the league, and clearly the best tonight after qualifying to his outside, one of the best. And points leader, regular season points leader, he's on the back foot heading into tonight's race. I'm going to put up the points once again right before we get going green. I'll turn it off. But see Zach there down in P8, so he's going to need to gain a decent amount of points here, 10 for a win. But he's got to be ahead of Chad, Chris, Brandon. Those are the cars he's looking out to beat. And if he can, it's going to set him up pretty nicely for Bristol. So they're going to have to be careful and racing Zach pretty hard. Make sure he's not going to get in, because if Zach gets in that second round, he's going to obviously be one for the championship. Row number 2 is going to be the 82 of Bernard Person and Matt Frady. Bernard, one of his best qualifying efforts of the season, of the races that he has ran. That's going to put him P3, so great qualifying there by Bernard. Matt Frady, who's second in the points, pretty much in as well. Same thing, kind of same situation as Adam. Just got to finish these next 2 races in an okay spot, and he should be in. Row number 3, Chad Adams. He's looking in. He's 5th, tied for 5th with Chris. So he's looking to beat Chris, try to stay at least a spot or 2 next to Zach. But he's got to have an okay race to be inside of the top 5 before Bristol tomorrow. Chris Pilo looking on the outside, known as one of the road course racers in the league. And he's looking at his way in at a road course, one of his best types of tracks, I'd say. But he's trying to make it happen tonight. So if he's able to get an okay finish and get in, he's going to be dangerous in that next round. Always good at the short tracks. Got Martinville's in it, so he's going to be good. Dean Duche, he's going to line up P6. He's going to line up next to Chad Adams. So he's looking for something to happen, looking for a win. Still got it a few weeks ago at Legacy Atlanta, but only one. So one of the best I-rated drivers in the league. He's looking to make something happen here tonight, get another win under his belt. 2 playoff drivers, Adam leading it in the number 2. Brandon Bass just out, tied for 5th. And I think the points or the tiebreaker would go to Chad Adams, or Christopher Pilo, so with those, Chad and Chris pretty side by side, it's going to be close. Then round out field, it's going to be Clay, Jason, Bully, Mike, Soto, Stony Benfield to round out the field. But we're ready for 35 laps here at Sonoma Raceway. One last look at the points before we get going. So mark it down, go back and look. But we're ready for this one. 35 laps, halfway break at lap 17. Here we go for one of my favorite road courses on the schedule. It's going to be a fun one to watch as they slowly keep around the corner. Chase fires. We're green for race number 3 of the playoffs. Charge up the hill. Going to have to be careful. Everybody trying to be sneaking through. Just get through it these first few laps. See Chase out to the early advantage. Zach right behind him. Zach knows he's not going to beat Chase. He's just got to be up there and ahead of all the other playoff drivers in it. But here's a battle between 4 of the playoff drivers. That's Zach leading it. Adam second. Brandon over the curb. He was 3rd in that line. Passes Chris, so a good move by him to get into that spot. One thing we're going to be watching all race is that wheel hopping, and be careful with how hard you get onto the brakes through the S's now. Wavy part of the track, a really fun one to watch as they go through it. Bernard all over the back bumper of Matt Frady, though. Looking to make something happen. Getting down into turn 11. The tightest corner on the NASCAR circuit. Tighter than Martinsville. Zach going to get a little sideways. Matt's going to get sideways. He's going to spin. First lap. Matt, problems. He spins. Going to have to try to get it back going. Could be playoff implications for Matt Frady. He's going to try to get back going just behind Mike. That's going to set him on the back foot on lap 1. Has a mistake, puts him back. Now he's in last, so he's going to have to do a lot of driving to make his way back through the field. No yellows here on these road courses. We saw Zach get way sideways. Then Matt just behind him did, so that moves Bernard Person into that third spot, podium spot there. Dean Duche in 4th, Chad Adams 5th. Chad, known for not liking too much of these road courses or anything like that, but he's pretty good at them. Give him credit. He might not like them, but he is pretty good at these whole road courses, so he's doing good there in P5 so far on the first few opening laps. Just behind him, Brandon Batts is going to spin. Got to be careful. Try to get back going. Merge safely onto the racetrack. Jason's going to go by him. Tried to, just not able to. Now they're side by side. Costly mistake. Anything can happen. Any of these drivers know it. And a lot going on. Right on board here with Soto. Behind 3 cars in front of him is Brandon Bass, Jason Spear, and Stoney Benfield. You see him trying to line up a pass, get a good run on the exit of turn 11. That's right on board with Soto as he makes it around this racetrack. Up the hill. Blow it down. Talk to Soto before the race. He's ran legend cars here in real life around here, and I can't imagine how fun that would be. Legend cars are always fun on the road courses, so he's driven around here, probably one of the only ones who's ever driven around here. I don't know if Chase has. I don't believe he has, but I know Soto is the one I know for sure who has driven around this racetrack down to my favorite corner of the racetrack, hard over that curve, jump it just a little bit. Now deep into the corner, riding on board with the Cooley's barbecue machine, Brandon Bass. You know, the deep corner now with Clay. 3rd gear through here. Be careful of the curb, over the crest. Car gets a little tight. He gets over the curb or onto the grass. Doing a good job of it so far. Down into turn 11. Cars battling. This is Chris Pilo, Adam Newton, and Chad Adams. They're battling it out. Chad in 5th, Adam 6th, Chris in 7th. They're battling it out for the top 5 spot. All playoff drivers. Adam just got to pretty much stay where he is, and he's into the next round. I believe if he if he finishes about where he will, which he will be the 3rd playoff driver. If it were to end currently, he will be that in. So he just has to start the next playoff race, and he should be in. So Adam just trying to log laps, get through this week, then make it to Bristol and try to lock himself in. Clay, another one that's on the brim of making it. As we looked before, he's just got to make his way through, have to race it smart, but be right where he is. You see him in the playoffs. He's 3rd on the board. He's just 1 point ahead of Mike. And Mike having not a great race. He's down there in P15. So is Clay going to gain spots on there? He's pretty high up in the points. So if Clay could be a lock, one of the guys that you didn't expect to be maybe in these spots of the playoffs, at least I wouldn't have, but he's looking to be pretty good. Mike Presley, he needs to have an okay race here. Just make a few laps, just complete this race. But he's deep in the field, so that's going to hurt him in the points format. He's dead last on the field, unfortunately, but just logging laps, trying to get through it. Anything could happen, but Chad Adams would overtake him in the points, so he's got to be careful with that as they're battling it up the hill. Chad trying to gain on Dean just in front of him. Adam just behind him. What are he so far? Zach on the exit, but Chase 5 seconds ahead of Zach. Zach 2.4 ahead of Bernard, but it's been a wild one. Chase pulling away quickly on the field, but how much are those tires going to come into play? We got that halfway break, but these drivers need to make it to lap 17 for it. So they got to be they got to be smart with it. Down into turn 11, hard on the brakes. Zach logging these laps. Knows this is what he has to do. Knows this is what he has to do with being so far down in the points after missing that first race at Legacy Atlanta. Ran last week at Talladega, had a pretty decent finish there, which didn't send him too far back, but could have been really bad if he didn't have a good one last week. But he's still in contention here. We'll gain 10 points if it were to finish currently. One driver trying to make his way back to the field, Matt Frady. He's up a few spots from that spin. Past 3 cars, but now he's working the back bumper of Stony Bend Field. Through these S's, Matt, one of the guys who's not the fondest of road courses, but definitely isn't too bad. As I say, he goes off the racetrack, able to sneak back in, but off the racing surface he goes. Slowing her down, get around this racetrack. Hard on the brakes, getting into turn 6, I believe this is. A little bit of contact going to happen. Matt Frady and Stoney going to make contact. Matt's going to try to go by. He will clear into the S's now. It's going to open up the door for Soto. How is he going to get through? Love with the onboard cams. Let's ride on board from the helmet cam to see what Soto's looking at here. See how violent and the shakiness it is from the helmet cam. Now Soto's going to try to get a 2-for-1 heading into the chicane, into turn 11. Down to the inside underneath Matt Frady. Can he get it to stick? They're going to make all sorts of kind of contact. Stoney kind of bumped Soto into Matt there, but they're all still running and able to get through it. Nice save by Matt after making his way through it. Good move by Soto. We're at the front. Back up closer to the front of the field. These guys are going at it. 3 playoff drivers, 4 drivers battling it out. Dean, who's the only one not in the playoffs, but looking for another win this season. Won 2 weeks ago at Legacy Atlanta, but he's looking good so far. Bernard 5.3 seconds ahead of him, though. The top 3 having incredible speed. These guys know there's not much to play for yet. Still got that halfway break, but Dean up 2 spots from where he started. So if he gets a restart, able to get back running, get into contention with it, he could gain another spot here, get around his teammate in Bernard Person. Just behind them, Chad Adams, though, trying to chase down that 39 machine. One of another best battles on the racetrack is between Brandon Bass, Clay Sarton, and Jason Spear. They're all within a second and a half of each other. Right on board with Jason as they go up the hill. See, up the hill. Clay going to get a little sideways. Lock up the brakes there. Still able to get going. Clay's going to be a little sideways. Now Jason, it's his time to pounce. He's going to look to the inside. Corner that you don't think too much about passing. A little bit of contact made there. Everybody able to get through it, though. Jason with a clean pass on Clay. Great move by Jason. Put him 1 spot inside the top 10. Brandon just trying to have some damage control here. Pretty deep, but still not too bad on the points. 14.4 seconds back on Adam, or Chris, who's the next person in front of him. Only 4 cars in front of him, so he will gain 5 points right now if it were to end. And as I keep mentioning the points, would put him in a pretty good spot. He is behind Chad Adams, who's the guy who's got a pass for it, but it would still not be too bad of a points day. The guys that he needs to beat, though, are all in front of him. So everybody in front of him who's a playoff driver are ahead of him in the points. So he's going to need to find some speed here, learn a little bit during this run. And over the next few laps, try to find something. I've said it majority of the time. This is one of my favorite road courses, but it is definitely one of the hardest.
Lap him.
Doug, Greg, you guys got a copy? Bully, I know that you're in here as
Hey,
well.
I hear you.
Well,
what's going on?
just want to come and see how y'all are doing. Bully, I know that you're racing and race control you guys are watching, but how you guys doing?
Doing good. Just kind of going through the field, just watching what's going on. Um, it's been pretty eventful watching Matt and them guys right there.
Matt making his way through the field. He's definitely got to be careful with it, but he's been doing so far so good. Had that lap one problem, but
Matt needs to be really careful. He's at a 15x on a 25 DQ, so.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
He's only 10 away, so Matt got to be careful with it. He's second in the point, so if he gets DQ'd, that's another spot for Mike, so Mike can get in playoffs just by that.
Mm-hmm.
Take a look at the stream, Doug and Greg. I know it might be a little bit harder to see, but looking at the points, Adam's pretty much in right where he is. Not too bad. If he finishes right now, wouldn't be too bad. Zach would be. It's going to be interesting to see where it shakes out at the end of this one. Zach on the back foot in 8th, but still has a lot of time to gain.
Yeah, Zach, Zach this is, I think what's really making this round of the playoffs fun, because Zach is someone that we just assumed was going to move on to the championship round. And we are sitting here where he has a possibility where he may not make it. So I think that is definitely making it exciting.
Yeah, he's missed that first race at Legacy Atlanta, like I said, and he's on the back foot, but he's looking to gain all those points back. Would like to talk about Bully, but don't want to jinx it, so. But we're watching Bully here, live with Bully. Well, take us through a lap here. I'll have you do the in-race broadcast and not try to screw you up, but yeah, I know. Do you want me to move you while you focus?
No, I'm good right now. Just let me drive.
All right. Running on board with Bully, though.
Yeah, and Chase is definitely putting on a how to run Sonoma clinic.
11.6 seconds ahead of Zach, so pulling Zach by a lot. And Zach's probably the best road course racer in the league, and he's got 11 seconds on him. So Zach putting on a clinic.
And we got 5 laps to the stage, so we will do a stage break, kind of reel everyone back in and give everyone a chance to get some tires.
We'll see what the tires are and what the strategies with it is, but just wanted to come and ask you. We'll do a talk to you at the stage, but yeah, I will see you guys then.
Alrighty, thank you, Gabe.
Chase, do you got a copy?
Yeah.
Don't want to mess you up, but if you wouldn't mind, take us for a lap here and explain Sonoma for us.
All right. Would you drag me out of the channel? That way I don't mess up with these guys, right?
Yes, sir. I got you. Alrighty. Explain a lap here.
So right now, it's just a massive fest of trying to keep the rear tires on you. So I'm using my shifting to try to keep helping me turn the car and trying to short shift off the corners quite often to try to help out with rear tire. But for the most part, you just gotta maximize like coming over crest, knowing that it's gonna load up, just being able to like kind of maximize going back to the throttle. The S's seem to really throw people off. Here, I don't know exactly what everybody's doing, but I'm kind of short shifting there. Getting it down in a second. Earlier in the race, I was using first coming off this corner, but it's just rear tires are gone. So now we're just literally half throttle, short shift there, get through the S's, bounce off the curbs, come back. You can use a little bit more throttle there, and then as you get to the crest of it, you got to kind of lift just a little bit more. Once again, a short shift, go back to third, try to get off this corner somewhat decent. Can't figure out how to do that. And then just kind of right as the track kind of dips right there, use that as my braking zone. In this corner here, I was using first once again earlier, but now that, like I said, the rear tires are gone, you just got to kind of do everything you can to nurse it. And like I said, like right here, I'm still half throttle. Like I'm not even getting full throttle anymore. It's so loose. But yeah, just trying to keep and manage and try to figure out. I know there's a halfway break coming up, so got to figure out if I need to pit here soon or not.
Well, it's been fun to watch you. You're putting on a clinic 13 seconds ahead of Zach, and Zach's probably the best road course racer in the league. So it's been fun to watch you, and you're doing a great job doing it. But probably interview you here at the halfway point and after pit stops and all that, and check in on you. But doing great right now, so keep it up.
Sounds good. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for guiding us through Sonoma. That's cool for Chase to kind of show us around Sonoma, what he's doing right now, and talk us through it. It's always cool to see from the driver's eye. I think possibly in the next few races, I might select or ask before the race and see like, hey, can I under green or something, check in on you, ask you a question, what your strategies are, or what's going on with you. I might start to try to do that because that's pretty cool. Obviously, don't want to mess anybody up with it, but one coming in the pits, that's Chris Pilo. I don't know what happened to him. He's a lap down now. Slow into the pits, Chris is. Doesn't look like he's got too much damage. Sounds like that car shut off. Not good for points being in the playoffs. See him tied for 5th with Chad. Now he's going to be last when we cross the start-finish line. Trying to make it slowly into the pits. Not the day that Chris wanted to have happen. He's still got a long ways to go, but now he's going to get lapped by Chad. Should be last by the time Mike gets here, but unfortunate there for Chris. Not for sure what happened. That's big playoff implications here for Chris. But want to thank Chase for doing that with us and taking us around. I'm going to probably try to do that. I know I don't want to mess anybody up. I knew Chase had a little bit of a gap, and he's pretty good at explaining and talking like that, so just wanted to do it with him, but I might start trying to do that more and more during the race, especially get spread out like this. Explain to you guys, talk with the drivers during the race would be kind of cool, but watching Chad Adams, Adam Newton, and Dean Duche. Chad's moved into the 4th spot. Dean's moved back 2 spots, so far it's been a long time on tires. As Chase keeps saying, he's trying to save those tires and just keep it underneath them. But looks like everybody around this racetrack has a buddy to go and race with. You see these 3 battling it out. Behind them, Mike's kind of on his lonesome, and then Matt Frady, Soto, Spear, they're all together. A few cars behind them. Brandon Bass and Clay Sarton. Stoney and Bully, they're pretty close, 12 seconds. But pretty much everybody has a battle buddy, and that's kind of the fun of it. But coming to the stage this time, unfortunately, Chris is in the pits, but coming to the stage, we'll get everybody a lap back. But Chase put on a clinic so far. Gets by Stoney. He's lapped up to 12th place here on this road course tonight, but still got a little bit to go. Still this 3rd sector of the racetrack. Through the S's into turn 11. Chase near 18 seconds now ahead of Zach. And off of turn number 11, he's going to do it. He's going to get the stage or the halfway point. He leads lap 17 as the caution flies. So a good job by Chase getting around. Second should be that 55 as Zach. Caution waves now, so the field is frozen. Still got to catch up to Chase, but it shouldn't take too long. with these pace laps and things like that. So Chase wins the halfway point. Zach in P2, Bernard P3 as he's crossing the line now. Chad Adams, Adam Newton, Dean Duche, their little battle has ended. Now Chad Adam into fourth. That's a good points day for him. Still a long ways to go, though. Matt, he's going to regroup, worked his way back up from 15th, dead last at the end of the first lap, all the way up to 7th. So 7 spots gained for Matt Frady. A great job by him to do that, as the pace car is at the top of the S's. Or at the top of the racetrack. Chase still trying to get back going. I believe pace car is waiting on him. Not for sure if that is so. Yes, it is. So it's waiting on Chase to get caught up, and then everybody else is just trying to catch up to the pace car whenever Chase comes out. So Chase at the front. Let's do a quick interview here under this yellow and talk to some of the drivers. Who should we interview? Let's go chat. How many people we got watching? Let's actually check that first. Leave a comment. Who do you guys want to talk to? Let's see. Everybody comment. Whoever's watching, comment who you want to talk to. And we'll go ahead, do a quick chat with them. Watching Stony Bend Field march through the field. Yep. Kip Cook. We'll go ahead. Everybody leave who you want to talk to. And then we will. Frady. I see Keller saying Frady. Okay. Matt, do you got a copy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been on the back foot after lap 1, but did a great job so far making your way through the field. Few people in chat said that they asked people who we should interview or talk to, and Kyle Keller said to interview you. So dragged you in here. So it's been fun watching you climb your way back to the field. Talk to us how you've been able to do it, get back to the field, and what happened there on that lap 1 incident.
Driving by the seat of my pants, not knowing what the hell I'm doing. Yeah. I'm fighting it all. I hate road courses. They're not something for me.
I mentioned it with you and Chad. Not the biggest fans of road courses, but seeming to be okay so far. I know it's been a little bit of a struggle, but you've been working your way back to the field. Talk to us a little bit about that. How have you been setting up these passes, and what is kind of the biggest deal to set up passes here on the road course?
Pretty much just catch them on the exit of the corner, set it up for the next corner. Good passing zone is the last corner. Can't think of the name right now. If you can set them, yeah, sure, there you go. If you could set them up through 10 and get a run coming underneath them, you could set them up to pass them to the, out break them going into 11 and go by that time.
Well, it's been fun to watch. We're going to be looking for you. Obviously, pit stop's coming up, so I'm assuming you're coming to pit road.
Oh, yeah.
But
you can go ahead and keep looking for me in the back. Don't worry, that's where I'll be.
Hey, you're in P6 right now, and you're going to have a chance to gain some spots here, so get her woed up. Don't hit the wall. But doing a good job so far. Doing a good job so far in it, and we'll see you, hopefully, in lap 3 and interview you post-race.
Yep, we'll try.
Matt Frady there saying, don't really know what he's doing, but he's doing a good job from my eyes. Doing great. Monty Tipton also interviewed Frady, so cool to see. Matt's got some fans out there, a few Vegas drivers, Kyle Keller and Monty Tipton, but a few cars on pit road. Ruth Gardner is watching, 74 faster or pastor. Let's go ahead and interview the 74 now of Stony Benfield. I believe he's in chat. He is. Hello, Stony. Do you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you, buddy?
Doing pretty good. A few people in the chat wanted me to talk to you, so I'm going to take the opportunity and do that. Talk to us a little bit about how much tires have come into play for you, at least, during this race. We've seen you battling a lot of the race, but how has tires come into play for you?
Well, I'll find out here just in a second when I make my pit stop. I got a lap down, but I got the lucky dog, so I'm going to have to play catch up. I can tell you here in just a second.
See you entering the box now, and a lot of the field saying number 74, Fast Pastor. Do you pastor?
Yeah, man, I pastor in Albemarle, North Carolina, Prospect Baptist Church, and I got some. I text about 30 people a link every time we race, and got some guys that watch, and so I appreciate them watching and supporting us.
I appreciate it loads. That's pretty cool. And it's cool to get you guys watching, everybody out there, and it's pretty cool. That's actually really cool. I like the nickname. So I might have to. I got an idea. After the race, I'll probably change it, but Fast Pastor, I'll make your nickname in the IRacing. So
Yeah,
instead of it
Pastor
saying
Pastor.
Faster
Hey,
Pastor.
join me some Sunday at 10:30 or 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, and Wednesday at 7 Eastern. ProspectBaptist.com, man. We'd love for you to join in.
That'd be cool. I'll have to look into it. That's cool. But it's been fun to watch you. You're doing a good job so far, just logging these laps, getting around it. And paint scheme's looking good and looking like you're having fun so far. So it's been fun to watch.
Oh, yeah, man. We'll get a little more aggressive here in the second half.
It's going to be fun. So good job so far. We'll be on the lookout for you and be watching these next few laps.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Stony Benfield, Faster Pastor, as I see a few people in the chat saying that's pretty cool. So that's cool for that to be going down. But the field's going to be in a line now. Everybody trying to catch up. Everybody who's logging their laps and get back caught up to this little train being led by Jason Spear. They're all trying to catch the pace car. Should still have a lap to go, so they should have the time, but they're all running right behind Jason. Looks like a little train race. We got 10 people watching now. Go ahead. Place your bets on who you think's going to win this one. Or, Chase obviously 11 seconds ahead, so maybe not. Might be. We'll see if Zach's got anything for him on this restart, but go ahead. Where would you guys like to see the All-Star race possibly for next season? I need to figure out the schedule and things like that, but for an All-Star race, where would you like to go? I thought maybe, it's really an All-Star race if we do it, but figure 8 at Irwindale and turn off the damage or something kind of cool like that. Could do that. Go to, say, Nashville Mini or a Legends Oval. That could be fun. Just really anything to do. Pretty cool. We'll have to see what you guys pick. You have to look at the tracks on iRacing or things like that. Just ideas for me for the All-Star race. We'll make that happen. Could go to Dega or something. Wasn't sure. This season was Atlanta, so kind of iffy, but I know one guy liked it, that 82 machine who ended up getting it. When our person's sitting P3 at the moment, he ended up winning that, so that was cool to see. But yeah, so far it's been a fun one. The field, everybody's got a car to battle. Seems like other than Chase and Zach, who kind of pull away, and the top 3 kind of pull away, and then the rest of the field has a battle buddy. But pace car lights are out, I believe, so it looks like we're going to get going green this time. So here we go. Pace car is going to pull down pit road this time. See it now. Pace car field pulls off here. The slow crawl until you get around this left-hander right before the front straightaway. Past the drag strip, it's going to be a drag race into turn 1. The second half of race number 3 is green. Zach trying to get clear. He will be on Menard getting up the hill into turn 1. Get behind Chase in front of Menard. He will. And the rest of the field trying to sort it out as they get through turn 1. Going to turn 2 now. Side by side for the 3rd spot. Menard and Chad up into 5th. Matt Frady. Heard him say not sure what he's got going on. But after the restart, he's up 2 spots from where he was before the pit stops. Doing a good job of it so far. Another guy, Peter Soto, to the inside of the 2. Contact made. 53 round. The 2 ends up going around. Aggressive move by Soto. Was just going to talk about him. He's up 10 spots from where he was and where he started. As there's a bunch going down through turn 6. but just contact made going down the hill. Let's go back and take a look at it here. So Soto had a bit of a run, thought about trying to sneak down the inside, and just outbraked it, went to the inside to try to avoid it from getting to the back of the two, and he got to the inside, hit the curb. Not much that Adam could have done about it. Just Soto, instead of running right in the back of him, thought throw it on the inside, but just unfortunate Willie went around, and now he's going to get back running. Should be okay, though, and not too much damage. The 2-1 in the wall. Clay hard around the outside of Stoney. Gets loose on the exit. Left rear in the outside wall, but able to keep going. That's going to let Dean go by him as they're battling it out just in front of him. This is Christopher Pilo, Adam Newton. Adam's going to be fun to watch here as he makes his way through the field. Chris is a lap down, unfortunately, but he's a road course guy. We'll see how he manages this. 15th, a lap down from the rest of the field, but he's still got to gain these points. Matt now doing a good job. He's up to the 5th spot. Chad Adams, Winnar Person, these few are battling it out. Let's go ahead and interview two guys from Race Control. Doug and Greg, do you guys got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Greg, I wanted to talk to you this time. I talked to Doug a little bit about it. Go ahead and look at my stream here, Greg.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you got the chance. I talked to Chase just before the stage, and he kind of guided us around. But I want you to explain how you would take a lap here around Sonoma Raceway.
Okay, well, let's just. Oh, okay.
So what are you seeing here from Matt? Right now on board with Matt Frady. What are you seeing?
Put it down low, down low. There we go. Keep it. Okay. I mean, he seems to be holding it pretty good. He's driving the course. It went a little out there, a little one out there. But overall, he seems to be just what his truck is giving him. That's what he's taking.
He's in 5th place right now, and he's making a 5th place truck look pretty good, but he's doing a good job of it so far. Now we're going to ride on board with Chase Cabry for a lap. So, Greg, if you could explain what you're seeing from his point of view, explain to us what you're thinking here.
Well, he has that fresh air, so he's out in front. So now it's just about him just taking with the truck. Don't push the truck too much. He's taking the curves. He's taking them in. Going pretty straight. Coming up.
Sideways there at the top of the hill.
Yeah, he got a little loose. He got a little loose, but he's still holding the truck. You know.
Yeah, from watching I've done him, he's spending a pretty good bit of time, a little bit sideways through some of these turns. So he's really pushing it, I think, to its limits and doing a good job.
He's using all the curb through the S's sideways there once again. But I talked to him just before the stage, and while he was running, it took us through a lap or two and said how much tires have been a factor. But it seems like that's kind of the deal. From what everybody's saying, it seemed like he was the loosest and was talking how bad his tires were. So that may come into play here in the next 10 laps, but still a while to go. But Doug, I want to ask you a question. Where do you rank Sonoma on the scale of road courses? I know that you like Watkins Glen, but out of all the road courses, where would you put Sonoma?
This configuration, which they are calling the historic configuration, which I believe they are running in NASCAR again.
Yes.
I would say that probably Sonoma would be my second favorite. I can't drive it nowhere near, the good job that all these guys here are doing. I can't do that here, but I do like the road course, and I do like it better without the carousel. So I do like this configuration. I just think it has a little more speed in it this way. Coming up on that right-hander at the top of the hill
Yes.
before you start coming back down. And then you do have the S's on the back that are fun if you can get through them, which sometimes that seems to be my issue. They kind of sneak up on you a little bit.
Well, we see a lot of guys keep getting loose through it. Right on board here with Chad Adams, Everett Motorsport, Greg, owner of this truck. But, yeah, I would have to rank, I mean, a little biased, obviously, been in California and things like that. Been watching the ARCA races, and my dad's worked here throughout the years and all the races and that he's gone to. But I like Sonoma. It drives more like a short track to me than, say, Watkins Glen. So I guess that's why I put it over it. I have more fun racing Sonoma and driving Sonoma. The racing at Watkins Glen is fun, but I feel like on iRacing especially, a lot of people do it. So Sonoma's always been kind of in a sweet spot for me. Just California, ARCA race, going to Helping a year ago. But I always like this track. It drives more like a short track, and I think that's why you're seeing Chad Adams excel at it. Zach, one of the best road course racers in the league, but also a great short track driver. But Chad in fourth, he's looking to make a good points today. Matt as well. Matt's figured it out in this second part of this race.
Yeah, I think between the two, between this and Watkins Glen, that Sonoma is a lot more technical, and you have to be a little bit more careful, I think, at Sonoma. Whereas Watkins Glen always just, to me, just feels like it's fast the whole way through, and you don't have to be as precise on things.
Yes, it seems like here you definitely got to save the tires more, and it can spin over these hills. As the car gets light over the top of the crest, and then it starts to spin tires like it's been. But Greg, do you want to do an interview with someone, a live interview?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not?
All right, let's go ahead.
Who are we gonna grab? I want.
I'm kind of thinking Clay or Zach. Who'd you like?
Clay.
19.
No, let me get.
Zach.
Hold on, Zach. Yeah, I'm
right.
watching Zach anyway.
All right. I'm gonna drag him in. You question him and ask him a few questions here, Greg.
I'll do it.
All righty, Zach. Do you got a copy?
Yep.
All right. Well, I got Bob up here in the booth with me, so Bob, take it away. You can go ahead and interview him.
Mr. Zach, this old Bob over here. Hey, we from way back in that NASCAR, that real good racing. But hey, you seem to be doing pretty good. You got that second place. Going on now. So tell me how that truck really doing for you.
I am not having fun. I'm so worried about binning it that I am death gripping the steering wheel. It's also a lot looser than I remember it ever being here. So, yeah, I'm just trying to keep four wheels on pavement.
Well, I'm looking at this little thing here. They got this little picture up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're doing so good. You're just moving. You're really going around this track, okay? So
I am. That is the thing that I am doing.
Well, hey, we just want you to keep doing what you're doing. You say it ain't doing right, but you're in the second place. You right behind that boy up there that's leading. So hey, we just want you to keep doing this, okay? So hey, you have a good race, and we're gonna sit here and watch you, okay?
All right.
Well, Zach, thank you for joining us in the booth. Greg wanted to talk to you, so you're doing a good job so far. P2, a good points day. If it were to end right now, you still got 5 to go when you get to the line, but you're doing a good job. Good points day for you so far. So keep up the good work.
Hey, do me a favor.
Yes,
Who's
sir?
the next person in the playoffs in the race?
Well, if I pull it up on my little
Next playoff
ticker, it'll be
Chad.
Clay.
No, Chad.
Oh, yeah, Chad is the next person in the playoffs.
All right. Cool. Well, hopefully I can survive. And
Yeah, you got
be first
Chad,
or first, but-
Chad, Matt, then Adam, then Brandon.
You have 10 seconds on Chad right now.
That's good to know.
AK,
Yeah.
you didn't record that, right?
Oh, I'm streaming. Yeah, it's live.
Oh,
Yeah, it's broadcast. Yeah, it's the stream, Greg.
Oh, hey, AK, my agent will be calling you, okay?
Yeah, he needs a check.
Hey, you
My
know what
agent
that
will
reminded
be
me
calling.
of? What's the cartoon rooster?
Oh, you
Like
talking
the-
about
from Looney
Foghorn
Tunes?
Leghorn?
Yeah,
Foghorn, yeah.
I say,
Yep.
boy.
I said, boy,
that's
I
what
said,
you
boy,
reminded me of.
boy, yeah, hey, JK, it's been a long time since Bob has showed up, you know?
Yeah. We'll have to
Bob used
get
to come up a minute.
we'll get Bob a little more involved, because I know Bob's, kind of semi-retired, and he's been out traveling the world and stuff. So we'll just have to get him and doing some interviews, whenever he's got time.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about Bob a little bit earlier. I was thinking about messaging him, maybe just have him interview a few drivers during the race. But I was also thinking, kind of like what I did with Chase a little bit ago, Zach here, just talk to a few drivers in the race and get that. Would be kind of cool to have an in-race reporter.
You picked a great one when all our concentration is through the roof.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I'm doing it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the thing of, how Fox has, guest broadcasters.
Yeah, that's
Well,
kind of
yeah.
what I was. Yeah.
So Bob is like our Kurt Busch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, it was good to talk to you, Zach. Keep up the good work. We're on a P2 here at the moment, but doing good, so keep it up.
Try not to die. Thanks.
Hear from
good
Zach
job, man.
there. He's doing a good job of it, and it's been fun to watch him work his way through the field. Doug, who would you like to talk to? You can pick someone. I talked to Matt. I talked to Chase before.
Let's
You talk
try.
to Chad? You talk to Chad?
I haven't talked to Chad. Didn't want
Let's
to mess him
try
up.
Clay.
You want to talk
Yeah,
to
let's
Clay?
do
Let's
Clay.
do Clay.
Yeah, let's talk
That'd
to
be
Clay.
fun.
He's
Clay's always fun to
always
talk to. All right.
Yeah.
Clay, do you got a copy?
Yeah, man, what's going on?
Well, in-race reporting. Talked to Zach there just a second ago, but Doug wanted to talk to you here and do a quick in-race interview. I know that you're being pressured by Brandon, so not to throw you off your game, but talk to us a little bit about how your truck's driving and what your plan is these next few laps.
Oh man, truck's good, driver's not so much. Just trying to learn how to run these road courses, man. They've always been my worst enemy here, and they're proving to be it today again. Trying to hold off Brandon here and at least get one of these playoff points, and maybe we can stay in for the next round.
Doug?
Yeah, I think you're doing a good job. You're running ninth right now. I don't think anybody's got anything for the leader, so.
Yeah, no, he strapped on a rocket ship and sailed off into nowhere.
I didn't hear what he said.
I didn't either.
He got sideways. Brandon did.
Yeah, that was Brandon talking.
Yeah, he got sideways behind you. But you're doing a good job so far, Clay. How much is tires coming to play from your point of view, and how much are you having to drive it and be careful with throttle control and over these hills?
Oh man, the throttle control is key here. Tires, I mean, I'm not great at saving them here at all. I mean, at the beginning of this, we could kind of get flat-footed on these straightaways, and anymore, that's not even considerable.
That's the same thing that Chase said when he took me for a lap, but he was talking about how much he had to save those tires and just be conservative with the throttle control and things like that, but it sounds like that's what most of the field's going through. So you're doing a good job working your way through the S's, and only got a few to go, so keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you hopefully after the race.
Alrighty, thank you, man.
Clay doing a great job so far with just a few laps to go. It's been a shakeup in the points. Matt has worked his way back inside the top 5. He's done the most pass in this race, I'd say. The biggest mover is the 53 of Peter Soto, up 6 spots from where he started. What's the shock of the race, Doug, that you've seen so far?
I was really surprised, and he seems to have settled down a bit. In the first half of the race, the incident count on Matt, he was up to 15x, which he gets ADQ at 25. So I wasn't even sure if he was going to be able to finish the race. So I think he's settled in and is doing a pretty solid job now. and just he's got 2 to go, so I think he can get through it without a DQ or anything. He is at 16x, yeah. So he's
Only gained one more
double,
from when we talked
yeah,
before, so he's doing a good job.
yeah, from like halfway.
I would say, honestly, my biggest surprise would be that number 15. Chris ended up having problems. He's in the pits now, but he's out of it. So a big points implications there for Chris as we're looking here. He was tied with Chad heading into this one for that 5th spot and getting into the playoffs. This is going to shake it up a lot. Mike not having a great race, but he is able to pass Chris. So Chris is going to get the least amount of points. He's only going to get 1 point tonight. Mike, he's going to get 2, but he's inside the top 5. Chad having a great race. He's in 2nd of the playoff drivers so far. He's in 4th. Matt in 5th. Adam seems to be pretty safe, but it's going to come down to after this race, and I believe Bristol. Bristol's a good race to mix it up, and we'll see how these drivers do there. But tonight's going to mix it up a lot.
Yeah, and Bristol has implications to really, you could knock yourself out at Bristol pretty quickly too. So, and something of not your own doing. You could just get caught up in something.
Yeah, it's
So,
definitely a tricky track, especially on the short tracks, things like that. So he's going to, all these drivers going to be careful with it. It's going to be intense. I believe the only one that's pretty much locked in after this one would be Matt and Adam. They're pretty close, but I think those two have been doing a good job so far, and they're in. So this next race is going to be all to play for.
But
Yeah.
hey, Dave,
Yep.
I just want to interject, and that Everett Motorsports, it wasn't bad, but they had a very good night. A very good night.
Having a good night so far. We're on the white flag now. Chad Adams into that 4th spot. Obviously, you're the car owner for it, but one putting on a clinic, that 41 machine of Chase Cabry. He's coming around into turn 11. The final corner on the exit of it. Chase is going to exit turn 11. Slow way to line, but Chase is going to win round number 1, race number 3 of the playoffs. Chase ends up winning it. Next person to cross the start-finish line will be Zach on the exit of it now. Zach comes home P2, but highest finishing playoff driver, so a great run for him. Good points day. Bernard Person, glad to talk to him. If he's able to get around this one little kink on the front straightaway, he will. He's going to come home P3. Chad Adams, good points day for him. He needed this, coming home 4th. That's going to set him good for these next this next race there at Bristol. But around the corner, a little battle here between Matt and Adam. Looks like Matt's going to get it. That's the battle for 5th and 6th. Next up, Stoney and Mike. They're crossing the start-finish line. Stoney trying to hold off Mike. And then Dean Duche, who's in 7th. He'll be crossing the line here in a minute. Just in a moment. And he will. So he's going to get that 7th spot. Little battle on the exit of turn 11 now. A little bit spread, but Jason, good day for him. Clay, another one who's just inside that battle for the playoffs. So as we're looking at it here, as everybody gets going, looking at it, I mean, this is going to mess up a lot of deals here. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm actually excited
what
to
happens.
do the points.
Yeah.
After and just see how it shakes up.
All-
And then, so I'm going to be doing that here shortly.
Everybody watching on YouTube, I am going to I'm going to do a post. So if you guys see that, that's what I'll be doing. And post the points before next week's race. But Chase is going to burn her down on the front straightaway. I'm going to try to get an interview with him now.
All right. Good race, everybody. Good win, Chase.
Chase, do you got a copy?
I gotcha.
Well, put on a clinic tonight. Every week that you show up, you seem to be the best car and most dominant when you show up. So it's been fun. Talk to us a little bit about your race, how much tires came into play, and how you were so good tonight.
Yeah, I got on and I realized that there was, a league race tonight, and I saw it was at Sonoma, so I had her on it. I loved stock cars on oval or on road courses. It was Excuse me, damn, I'm about damn near choked. Um, yeah, I love stock cars on or trucks or whatever the case is on road courses. Was one of my favorite things to do in real life. So it's transpired on iRacing. It's so much fun. You know, you gotta hustle these things. They drive like hell. You know, you gotta be okay with not being okay with being out of control a little bit and sliding around and really trying to maximize yourself. So it's super fun. I enjoyed a whole lot and yeah, so tonight went really well. Just trying to manage tires and manage, just making sure I got through lap traffic okay, and everybody seemed to be super nice about it and super cool about it. So everything went good, and yeah, glad to pick up the win.
Yes, sir. You were definitely fast tonight. So you burn it down at another point of the track, so that's cool to see. But obviously, not in the playoffs. Wish that you were able to make more races, but when you show up, you're the best at it. So it was fun to watch. Where has this interest in the road course racing come from? I know that you said that you like doing it, but where has this kind of skill and point of it come from?
I don't know. I've always had fun to me with just like maximizing like qualifying laps and in anything I've done, if I win the race, even when it comes down to dirt racing in real life, the other couple months ago, the last one I ran. Well, the time before that, I ended up winning the race, and the first thing I did is get out and look at lap time. So I just have a lot of fun trying to maximize everything that I can on the oval side. Lap after lap, and even if, like I said, if you do win the race or not, like I still like to go back and look at lap time. And so for road course racing, it's every corner. You get to try something new, different lap, and to be able to put a good lap together, you got to be able to run 14, 15, however many corners are on the racetrack. And so it's always been super fun to me. I kind of like that side of it.
Well, appreciate you talking to us during the race and kind of doing that lap with us and guiding us around. That was cool. I didn't want to mess you up or nothing, but I knew that you could explain it pretty well. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for talking to us, and thank you for running with us. And congratulations on the win tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
It's always fun to have you, and we're glad to have you every week that you're able to show up. So congratulations on the win tonight, and I'll let you go.
Appreciate it.
Chase Cabrey, the winner for tonight's race. Coming on P2, Zach. Zach, do you got a copy?
Yeah.
Well, you end up coming on P2, but more important than that, a good points day for you in that 55 machine. It was good. And 10 points, 10 playoff points. You were on the back foot heading into this week. Missed that first race. But talk to us. Where does this put your confidence level? Where do you think this is going to put you in the points? Or does this put your mindset heading into Bristol next week?
Well, Bristol's a completely different animal. And it's going to be a lot like Talladega, where it's just going to be staying alive and trying to get half-decent points. But I knew I could be towards the top here, so I just wanted to have a good points day. I know I was about 6 from the cut line going into this race, so we'll see where it shakes out, where everybody else's points are. But yeah, I still have to have a good finish, if not be at the top of the playoff guys next week to make it through. So Bristol's not my strongest track, and I don't like driving super aggressively, but I'll probably have to.
Well, I'm not too worried about it for you. You're always quick every week, and every time we go to a short track, you've always put in the speed and put in the work for it. So I'm not too worried about it. I think you'll do all right. Bristol, another short track, so it drives more like a mile and a half, but it's a short track. So excited to see that and where you line up. But I'm excited to see where this takes you, and we'll see about where you are in the points. But right before you let go, or I'll let you go, who'd you like to thank?
Just everybody putting this race on. Doug for taking a nap before the start of the race. That helped out a lot. But yeah, just everybody hanging out and having a good time, and why keep coming back to race.
Well, it was fun to watch, and we'll see where this puts you in the points. It's going to be fun to look at after it, but congratulations coming on P2 tonight.
Thanks.
Zach coming home P2, and believe the guy who finished P3, Bernard Person, is not in the chat, so not able to interview him. But as we're looking at the points, as the race concludes, it's Adam Newton, Matt Frady, Clay, Mike, Chad, Chris, Brandon, Zach, Joshua, and Anthony, who are both not here. I'm going to try to load it up and see if the points are in real quick. If they are, I will show it to you guys really quickly. I'm not going to show off the screen, so whoever's watching still, I'm going to put this in, but Doug's doing the points currently, so we'll see where this stacks up and who's all where. I'm trying to wait for it to load. I will be back one moment, but waiting for the points update.
All right.
Alrighty, so it is going to take a minute to get the points in. I'm going to do a post on YouTube, so be on the lookout for that. I'll just post it as a picture of where the points are before the end of next week. But tonight was a fun one. Congratulations, Chase, on getting the win. And congrats to Zach trying to work his way back into the points and getting those 10 points. Congratulations to Chase, Zach, and Bernard on the top 3. And we're excited to see where everybody is heading into next week. Elimination race at Bristol. Knocking it down to 5 drivers left in the playoffs and 4 races to decide a winner. We go to Vegas, Daytona, Martinsville, Homestead to round off the playoffs and crown a champion. So the next 5 weeks are going to be big to see who comes out on top. So that's going to do it for Sonoma, race number 3. And we will see you next week.